On this week's episode of Comic Confidential, we review the long-awaited final entry to the Wolverine series, Logan. We also get our first look at Thor Ragnarok, and we talk about their surprise casting in Deadpool. Welcome back to Comic Confidential. I'm Cade.
I'm Troy.
And I'm Amy.
And before we get into the top 5 news stories you want to hear, let's talk about the Fox Logan giveaway.
Yes, tickets have been given away.
Many full stops.
So many.
There were exclamation marks.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Double passes, man.
Double passes to see Logan in season, courtesy of 20th Century Fox and us,
Yeah.
most importantly.
Mostly us.
Yeah, pretty much mostly us. But they did come to the party, which is great. The winners have been announced on Facebook already, but we're going to announce them on the show because, you know, we like telling people their names and stuff.
So just so you guys remember your name.
I'm here to butcher names.
That is literally why we started this podcast. We've got Hamish Oates,
Thomas Hall,
Ben Gibson,
Jason Goulding,
and Alexandria Sassine.
Ooh, I think you nailed it.
Yeah.
I think you nailed it.
I'm going to say it wrong. Alexandria Sassini.
That could be right, too.
No, damn it.
So congratulations, guys. They are in the mail, on the way. So enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Double pass. I don't think you can use it in Gold Class or VMAX. This is just a regular cinema.
No, you heard it. You can. You totally can.
I think you might be able to. You just have to pay the additional.
I am almost 100% sure you cannot do it.
Oh, well.
Do not listen to these two.
Do it and let us know how you go. Tell them Comic Confidential sent you.
Oh, yeah, that'll get
Make
you
sure
in.
you've got shades on when you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then you can come back later without the shades on.
Yeah.
And
go
oh,
again.
Yeah.
yeah.
And if you've got a long trench coat, you can sneak more people in.
Yeah. The longer the trench coat, the better.
Or a massive handbag.
You can fit people. You can fit small people in handbags.
Yeah.
Babies and the midgets, little people.
You can't call them that.
Yeah,
All
sorry.
that.
He fixed it. He fixed it.
What are they?
They're human beings, Troy.
I apologize. Let's move on to the top 5 news stories. Cade, what have we got?
Iron Fist reviews are in. I'm too excited. Iron Fist reviews are in. And could this be next Netflix's biggest failure?
It doesn't seem like it's. No one is really impressed at the moment, that's for sure.
No, I'm gonna read out a little quote from The Verge.
Okay.
Fans feared the worst when the series was announced. All their fears came true. Iron Fist is boring, confused, and an offensive mess of a series.
That's pretty harsh.
That's pretty harsh because I am a fan and I did not fear the worst at all when this
I
was
was
announced.
excited.
Man, well, that's the thing. Over here at Comic Confidential, we're just a hopeful bunch.
We're all about positivity, baby. All about positivity.
But yeah, it looks like this might be a flop. And to tell you the truth, I'm not actually that surprised considering the back end of Luke Cage was just pure dog shit with the runs.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone that far, but yeah, it did struggle. It struggled with its narrative, and from all reports, that's what this is doing as well. It kind of takes too long
to get into it.
So you've kind of got your first 6 episodes or something apparent, and this is all apparently based on people who have seen it, but they're critics, so fuck them.
Yeah.
We will tell you how it is when we see it.
Yeah, listen to us.
Yeah. No, but in all seriousness, like basically what people are saying is that it's very, very like poorly paced.
Yeah.
So it just takes way too long to get into it. They concentrate more on Colleen Wing than they do Danny Rand initially.
Yeah, right. That could be the problem.
Why?
Well, I don't know why. I don't
He hasn't bloody seen it, eh?
I haven't seen it yet, but these are just the reports. So these are just the reports, but apparently, yeah, as far as it being like an offensive mess of a series,
People find offense in everything these days.
they do.
I'm offended when people aren't offended by something.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if they're like in particular talking about like the whole whitewashing thing, or if they're talking about like do they play too much on Asian cliches, like
racial
that sort of
stereotypes.
that sort of thing. So it'd be interesting to see. Man, I don't give a fuck. Is that going to stop me from seeing it? Hell no. I'm still going to go out and watch it. I might hate myself once I'm done. But I'm excited for this still.
Yeah, me too, man.
Sounds
I can't
easy.
wait.
And there have been a couple of outlets that have been more positive in regards to it.
Well, that's it. I mean, it's all down to your individual opinion.
That's
right.
exactly right.
If you hate something, that's fine. If you love something, that's even better.
Yeah.
Unless you're on this show, because we hate on anyone who hates things we love.
Yeah, basically. We're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Just in this circle.
Yeah.
Not you guys.
You know, just within ourselves. Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
Entertainment Weekly has released 9 images from the set of Thor Ragnarok. And goddamn, aren't these pictures like bright? They show Gladiator Thor, Jeff Goldblum's Grandmaster Flash. I threw in
Just
the Flash
Grandmaster.
part. Yeah. Kate Blanchett's Hela. And holy crap, doesn't she look amazing?
Oh,
Yeah.
she's amazing.
Well, Kate Blanchett
anyway.
does anyway.
But I know what they've done to her, but she is just... I can't even
Hashtag
say it. And Therese Thompson's Valkyrie. And
Tessa Thompson.
Oh, Tessa. Oh, there you go. Along with this, we also have a bit more of an idea about the plot. So I'm gonna throw this down and keep it real.
Okay.
Loki is doing a shitty job as king.
Shock horror.
Hela literally blasts Thor to Sakaar, and he finds a Hulk who's like living as a god there.
Yeah.
He's like the man.
The Hulk.
Like the planet's greatest warrior.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
So he's just like walking around with fucking the biggest balls going around, which will probably be the case anyway.
Yeah, he does that anyway.
And then when the Hulk finds out that Thor's there, they kind of go on this like buddy road trip to go save Ragnarok.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they'll punch it out for a bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
But then it'll just be, happy road trip times through space.
Yeah. Going on a road trip of ass kickery.
Because apparently the movie takes very... they don't spend a lot of time on Earth.
No.
Basically.
Yeah, it's kind of like they go around everywhere. It's just like, hey, guys.
Yeah. So it's
Just
kind
checking
of
in.
Asgard, Sakaar, Midgard for a little bit, and then everywhere else.
Yeah. This is going to be one of the best movies of the year.
Well, here's like I am 100% digging this like 90s or 80s like neon vibe of this planet.
I feel like they've had the crew over from Guardians of the Galaxy because it's so much brighter.
Yeah.
Because one of the big, the criticisms of a Marvel film is that like it's very monotone and lack of color.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna change.
Yeah.
And the other thing that'll change is this is our first real MCU female villain.
Yeah.
So let's get into it.
I
can't
am
wait.
into it. The only thing that I was a little bit sad, it's not a big thing, not a big detail, but they cut all Thor's hair off.
Yeah.
He looks like a surf jock.
He looks amazing either way, but I'm just, I
He
don't
looks
know
like
why.
he did on Home and Away.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
But that's hot anyway, so. But I don't know why. I don't know.
Well, you'll find out because apparently once he gets to Sakaar, that's kind of where he loses his hair, loses his hammer, and a whole bunch of shit goes down.
All right.
And, he's put into the arena or puts himself into the arena, I would say.
Yeah.
I can deal with that.
Yeah. So, but I'm excited, man. Benedict Cumberbatch is going to be in it as Doctor Strange as well.
Yeah.
That's going to be that Midgard scene.
Well, yeah.
And that I reckon that's all it'll be, but it's going to be just pure gold.
Yeah, it'll be very, very minimal, and I think it's basically when, if I remember correctly, I think Thor and Loki are looking for Odin on Earth.
Yeah.
Yes. That was at the end of the Doctor Strange.
Yeah. And
film.
so they seek out the help of Doctor Strange.
Yes.
I'm very excited about Kate Blanchett's Hela.
Yes.
I'm super excited about Jeff Goldblum and pretty much anything he does except Independence Day Resurgence. He looks great. Haven't seen Dominic Cooper's Scourge yet.
All right.
So I'm excited. Oh, well, I don't think we have, and I'm excited to see what he does. I like that dude. Anyway.
Movie of the year. You heard it here first.
No, I thought we said Guardians of the Galaxy was going to be movie of the year.
I'm calling Guardians of the Galaxy for movie of the year.
I'm calling this.
Okay.
It's a throwdown.
Well, what's really going to be interesting about this movie is the direction that it takes based on the director. So Taika Waititi, who has he has his movies aren't necessarily like they've never really been action based or anything like that, but they are very, very, very well written, with good character sensibilities and all that sort of stuff, and funny as fuck. And I know they want to bring the humor back to this series.
And Thor's a perfect.
Oh, yeah.
He's hilarious.
So
Well,
funny.
yeah, when you look at the first Thor, in comparison to the Dark World.
Yeah.
Like, it was a completely different movie.
Yeah.
Like, Thor was, like, there were laugh out loud moments for Thor in the first movie.
Yeah.
That didn't appear in the second. So I really think this director can bring those back. It'll just be interesting to see how he handles the action and the CGI and all that sort of stuff.
What's your thoughts on Hulk being able to speak rather than just being this big rage mess? Because obviously there's like some intelligence there if he's, winning these battles and walking around like he's a living god.
Yeah. Well, apparently, according to Mark Ruffalo, we're going to see a completely different Hulk to what we've seen before. And he is going to walk around with a swagger.
Yeah.
Knowing that he's basically being looked upon on this planet like a god. And I think that's really interesting because it's a good step for the character rather than, basically, you said completely different to what you've seen previously and in Avengers, Age of Ultron, all that sort of stuff. So I'm looking forward to it.
How does he get there? How does the Hulk get there? You reckon it's the Collector? Grandmaster grabs him?
Grandmaster Flash?
Yeah.
Maybe. He's trying to create his Furious Five.
Could be.
Could be. Not the Fast 8, though. Not to be confused with them.
Not to be confused with Fast 8.
Oh, by the way, that wasn't the Furious 5. It was the mention.
Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Amy's like 20 years old or something.
She won't get the hip-hop reference.
She's not going to understand.
She's still looking like,
What's happening?
I don't know what just happened, but okay. Moving on.
Don't know, don't care, looking forward to it.
Yeah, let's move on. Atlanta actress Zazie Beetz has been cast as Domino in Deadpool 2. God damn, this is exciting. And Ryan Reynolds confirmed this via Twitter. Beat out Kerry Washington and Janelle Monáe for the role.
Yeah.
Those are some pretty formidable actresses.
Well, here's the thing. Like, it was literally, I think, 2 days ago that they announced that Janelle Monáe was the front runner.
Yeah.
For this.
Actually, I saw
and then
that.
just all of a sudden, this news drops that Zazie Beetz has
beats her.
beats her to the punch.
Could
I
you
guess.
read, like, that cryptic picture he put up?
No,
I
it
had
was
no
so
idea.
hard.
Yeah, I was looking at it for like 10 minutes and I just threw my phone. I can't do this.
Somebody else interpret it for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, and then I went looking for like
Yep.
stories and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and then it came up. I've literally only seen her in Atlanta.
I've not even seen
And
that.
I don't know if you guys have seen
I've seen the character. I haven't seen anything else.
If you haven't watched Atlanta, by the way, everyone out there, go and watch Atlanta. It is fucking brilliant. And she is great in it. She's
Okay.
fantastic in it. But it's literally the only thing I've seen. So I don't know how like excited you can get. But she's a good actress. And it's interesting. She beat out Kerry Washington, and Kerry Washington's a brilliant actress.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I think what they're really trying to do is they're really trying to take these people that you don't know too much about.
Yeah.
And try to keep the movie kind of, sort of that like indie feel.
Yeah, keep it close to their chest as well a little bit.
Yeah, which is kind of really makes it interesting for who they're going to pick for cable then.
Yeah.
Because if they're going to try to go that way, are they really going to go big name actor? It could literally be somebody that you just like, who the fuck is that dude?
Yeah.
Well, who did we say last week? The sheriff from Stranger
David Harbour.
Have
That's
you seen
him.
him do comedy?
no.
No.
Oh my god, he did this thing for Funny or Die, where he did a casting call for 11.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Fuck, it is hilarious. Like, do yourself a favor, go pause this and go watch it.
All right.
Unreal.
I will check that out.
Anyway, let's move on. Game of Thrones. Teaser trailer has dropped. Not that I care, but these two wet their bloody pants about it, and season 7 release date is now the 16th of July.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what any of that means. 'cause
Later than I wanted it to be, but it is coming nonetheless.
Can I just take a second though I really have to call you out on your bullshit, sir, that you will watch some terrible TV because we have to talk about it.
Yes.
There are some shows that we have watched. Let's name them. Gotham isn't great. Supergirl, Outcast. Yet you have never given Game of Thrones a chance, and it is dead set one of the best shows on TV
In the world.
In the world, and it's back, baby.
Yeah.
it's back.
Normally it comes out in April, though, doesn't it?
I think it's quite earlier. They have pushed it back, and it's going to be shorter again. Remember, so don't expect the 13 episodes.
It's an 8.
I think
now?
7 or 8
Yeah.
now. But this is it, man. This is building to the
Great War.
to the Great War, the big finale. We've got 2 seasons left. Cade's excited as crap. Man, if you don't know Jon Snow, if you don't know Daenerys Targaryen,
You know them. Come on.
Tyrion Lannister, all of these people, you are missing out Go and get some
Watch
culture.
all of
You
it.
are literally speaking another language to me right now.
Anyway,
If I can watch The Walking Dead, you can watch Game of Thrones.
I don't think you understand how much I hate medieval based.
How much do you think I like zombies?
More than I
No,
hate.
I don't think so.
okay, this is not the format for this argument.
It's an ongoing argument.
But while the teaser didn't really do too much, because
No.
it was kind of like, just they had the animals kind of
Yeah.
representing the houses in the background, not really doing too much, while they played like sound bites from the previous seasons and all that sort of stuff. But fuck, season 6 had some brilliant moments, and
Yep.
one of the best seasons by far. Looking forward to season 7. Can't wait.
Agree.
Guess what?
What?
Hold on to your ass. We have another trailer for Fate of the Furious.
Oh shit!
I'm holding it.
Hold on to your ass.
Yeah.
Literally a line that made it into this trailer. This is
I think that says everything you need to know, mate.
this
We,
is
the three of us watched the trailer together, and I think when that line was said, we all just looked at each other like, what the actual fuck are we watching?
like, what is happening? I love The Rock.
Yeah.
As a person,
Me
he
too.
seems like a great man, very inspirational, and all that sort of stuff. People's sexiest man alive. We get it. But holy shit, man! Like, what is happening? What is happening in this movie?
This is, I'm not even joking. I feel that might have been the most outrageous trailer I've ever seen for any movie.
Sharknado.
No, even crazier than that. Like, those I can get because they're like out of
Shit,
context. Yeah, like they're B grade. This is like blockbuster. The guy catches a fucking grenade.
Tornado. Oh,
looks
yeah.
at it and like throws it away. And he's like, fine.
Yeah,
You are also missing the point in which he jumps out of a moving tank, slides across the ice, and deters a torpedo.
To a car to blow it up.
One
Yeah.
car, only
yeah, just one.
With
It
like a torpedo that's the size of his tank. Not that tank.
yeah.
The actual tank. Anyway.
It is getting insane. They said family 3 times.
3 times only.
within the first minute of
We're
this
one
trailer.
within the first 6 seconds.
We literally counted this. There was family within the first 6 seconds. This look. I mean, we talk about this all the time. Like it's popcorn action. We know there's not going to be much of a story other than family, and you expect these kind of big ridiculous things, but this is almost pushing the limits of what this is heading into Triple X territory.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Triple X is fucking ridiculous.
Yep.
You know what's
I
ridiculous
agree.
is that all these cars can be remote controlled.
Oh, don't
Like
even get me
all the cars in
started.
the city.
Hey,
It looks like a fucking herd of cars.
hey,
It's running of the bull, but in the city.
are you Hacker Man?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I am.
she is.
Because she is.
She's hacker woman.
Yeah, she's Hacker Person.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's crazy because she literally says this city has millions of cars, and then we're literally looking at just a sea of cars that she is now controlling somehow with one tablet.
Yeah.
to all do the same thing. We've got torpedoes coming out of a submarine on the Arctic plate. We've got
I saw missiles. Like a little missile launcher came out of the sub.
that was
I
no.
don't
I
know
think
if-
that might have been coming out of the tank or like
See, this
a
is
tank.
what's wrong. So many things were happening. I literally don't even know.
It was mental. They're like driving down the streets and cars are coming out of buildings and things like that. They are. We said it when we were looking at it, but we've got to say it on this as well. It is definitely heading into Transformers territory
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well,
Yep.
in the sense of it's just like it's
Oh my God. Do you think that would do a crossover?
I would not be surprised, man. I would not be surprised if Michael Bay got together with I don't even know who's directing this damn movie.
Vin Diesel, probably.
It probably is Vin Diesel, but I would not be surprised if they got together and said, well, let's just fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Transformer. Straight through the city.
Let's just we'll get on fucking Optimus Prime's back. You can be in the truck and we'll fucking go from a building in Abu Dhabi and we'll jump to a building in fucking New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Yeah, make it happen.
And then Godzilla has to come in there, too.
Something weird is going to happen. Man,
Is that a franchise that should cross over?
Oh, no.
They're both stupid levels of insanity.
Well,
And I could see it working.
well, there's still.
Could you imagine The Rock
Well, see-
in Bumblebee?
Yeah, but the problem is, well, he wouldn't fit. Let's be honest. But there's
Well, no, because Chevrolet will come out with a bigger car and have to show
of
that
course.
off.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
true. Because they're usually made for Shia LaBeoufs,
Yeah.
that size car.
Regardless of his name, he's actually not buff.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of buff.
Yes.
But yeah, this is mental. They're still talking about doing Transformers G.I. Joe.
What?
Having that as a crossover. So that will likely happen before this does. I wouldn't be surprised if this crosses over with Triple X at some point, and like Triple X is Dominic Toretto's
Maybe
twin
that's
brother.
what's happening right
And
now.
who knows? It could be the same dude. It's mental. I don't even know what to say anymore. Like it's
That's
it's
enough.
completely
We're just-
mental.
We're just done on it, I think.
Yeah, it's holy shit.
We got ourselves an X-Men fan. Maybe a quarter of it happened, and not like this. In the real world, people die.
Logan,
I don't want to talk about it.
Logan,
Just stop.
be careful. I need the girl.
What girl?
Go get her.
Okay, so this week we naturally went to the cinemas and watched Logan. What the hell else were we going to do? Not watch this movie?
No, definitely not.
What else is out that we could have seen?
Nothing. It wouldn't matter what else is out. We were always going to go and see this damn movie. And so, we're going to go through and we're going to review it as we do with these things. But before we do that, let's get into some financials because this movie is making mad bank.
Yeah, so domestically, it's pulled in $110 million, and worldwide, it's pulled in $190 million already, with an opening weekend of $88.5 million for an R-rated movie, which, is that the best of all time?
Negative.
Isn't it?
What
It's
was?
the fourth best of all time.
You're joking.
Oh, my God.
I'm not joking. Naturally, we all know Deadpool still holds
Oh, yes, okay.
the opening weekend record. Then it's The Matrix. Then it's the Matrix Revolutions, I think. Then it's American Sniper. And then just missing out by like literally $500,000 on the number 3 spot is Logan at number 4. All-time opening weekends for an R-rated movie.
Unbelievable. It still bewilders me that the Matrix movies were rated R.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what?
Why?
What happened in it?
I don't even remember.
Especially the shittest one.
Yeah.
Why did the shittest one have to make so much money, damn it?
Because they didn't want you to go see it.
$88.5 million is a fucking amazing achievement for a movie in a weekend. I don't think anybody initially expected it to make this type of money until we started to get the rumors that it was actually like brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you know this movie only had a budget, and I say only, of about $140 million?
Yeah. Which considering what they did with it, that's still a lot of money. Considering I think Deadpool had 90.
No,
or
didn't
less.
Deadpool
No,
only
Deadpool
had
55.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Deadpool had 3 times less of a budget than this. That's a thing.
Yep. We'll let you have it.
Yeah, thanks. And yeah, did what it did. We're not here to talk about Deadpool. We're not here to talk about Matrix Revolutions. We're here to talk about Logan.
Yes. Shall we listen to some synopsis?
We should listen to a synopsis
Yes.
as read by Amy.
You know how eloquent I am?
Yeah.
Okay. In the near future, a wary Logan cares for an ailing Professor X in a hideout on the Mexican border, but Logan's attempts to hide from the world and his legacy are upended when a young mutant arrives, being pursued by dark forces.
Ooh, dark forces.
dark.
The Reavers
Yeah.
in this case, which is amazing that they finally made it to the big screen.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm so impressed. I'm pretty disappointed that we didn't see Tank Dude.
Tank Dude, where is he?
Where the fuck is Tank Dude?
Oh, mate. If we had... When I got to my cons, I was going to say no Tank Dude. But fuck it. It's off. It's
It's
out there
already
now.
out there now.
Yeah, I will just a little bit of like trivia, if you will. There are listed 3 actual proper Reaver people from the comics.
Okay, yeah.
So you've got Bonebreaker, you've got Macon, and you've got Pretty Boy are actually listed Reavers in this movie.
That's
and they
awesome.
Are ripped out of the comic.
Nice.
And then of course they are run by Donald Pierce, played by Boyd Holbrook. So yeah, let's get into it. What do you guys think of the story?
The story.
The story.
It's a good farewell story.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, you couldn't have really done a better job
yeah.
as a farewell story.
Yeah, I think this is how you end an era. of two massive
Well, yeah, that's right.
fan favorite characters. Not, like Professor X.
X.
What's his real name, though?
Professor
Patrick Stewart.
Sex.
Professor
Oh.
Sex.
I was like, Xavier?
Patrick Stewart. I was going to try to work sex in there, but it doesn't work. He was toying with the fact of whether he wanted to retire from the character.
Yeah.
And once this movie actually came out and he saw how it was received, and he actually kind of realized that this was the perfect swan song for that character.
Yep.
And following in the steps of Hugh Jackman, also said that this is it for me. Like there is no better send off for this character than this movie. So that's it for me. Which is like, when you think about it, I'm not saying I'm going to cry right now,
He's pretty close.
but I'm pretty
though.
close to crying.
Well, how
right
many
now.
years has it been? Did we say?
17.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
long
far out.
time.
17 for both of them. Hugh Jackman still holds the record for most appearances as the same character, or longest time served as said character, or something like
Yeah.
that. But Patrick Stewart has done pretty much the same amount of time, just not as many appearances. But far out. What a send off, man!
Oh.
What a send off.
Now, I'm gonna put a triggered warning here.
Okay.
We're gonna start talking spoilers now,
Big time spoilers.
Right, no.
right now.
Okay, and go.
God damn his death.
I know. my
Xavier's
heart.
death.
I don't cry in movies, and so I didn't cry in this one, but I was very sad.
Look, this is like, let's talk about Professor X for a second, or Charles.
Yeah.
In this movie
As a whole.
As a whole.
Yes.
Holy, it's what a way to see the character.
Yeah, man. Like funny.
He
like
was
at first sight, he was
hilarious.
actually like hilarious.
Yeah.
Man, it was touching. It was heartbreaking at times.
Oh, yeah.
This is one of the most powerful mutants on Earth at one point in time, who has been reduced to a shell of his former self.
Yep.
And basically can't even look after himself anymore. And it's kind of like it's a turnaround for characters when you look at Logan having to look after Charles now, and Charles initially brought Logan into the
Yeah.
frame,
Yeah,
looked
yeah.
after him, and sort of nurtured him and brought him onto the team. So I think it's really sort of fitting that it kind of flips on that. And we can't forget Caliban as well. Caliban was doing a lot of shit for him too.
Yep.
Didn't have to.
No.
But what? It's not about Caliban. It's
No.
not called Caliban, is it?
Nope.
No, well, that's
It's called
right.
Logan.
And it was almost like it's not romantic, but there's like a sense of accomplishment between these two characters.
It's
that
family.
Well, yeah, it's like
Don't say
family.
family.
Don't say family. You're going to get people triggered. No, but the sense that Logan was trying to buy a boat so these two could like sail off
away.
into the sunset.
That
and
was
like
very cute.
Not cause harm to
Yeah.
anyone because of Professor Sex's failing mind.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you have? A degenerative
Brain disease.
disorder,
Yeah.
or disease? Yeah. But yeah, it's it's the way they portrayed like the love and affection between these two characters. Even though like Logan seems for the most part that he's like begrudgingly doing it, and all
like
that sort of
detached
stuff.
from it almost.
Yeah, you kind of, as the movie progresses, you get a real sense of how much he actually
Of
cares
care,
for him,
yeah.
and everything that he's doing to not only protect everybody around him because of what could happen, but more importantly, to protect him and give him a good quality of life.
And you know what I really enjoyed about that part is we saw most of that through X-23's eyes.
Yeah.
She was watching him, her dad, I guess,
Yeah.
care for his dad.
Yeah, or
which
her
was-
granddad.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know. But I thought that was a really good way to do it.
Yeah, well, there was-
because he wasn't going to, like Logan wasn't going to say anything about it, I guess.
Yeah, and it's kind of, she's kind of, because he's very cold to her for like the
Yes.
most part, but she can see that there's like a nurturing,
love.
caring, like character within there. And there's one scene where he's like, when they're in the house with the people
Other
whose names I can't
family,
remember,
yeah.
the other family that they come across. And he's like, I just need to put my dad to bed. And he picks him up and he's like carrying him up the stairs, and she kind of watches him carrying him up the stairs.
was
And it's
really
like
cute.
a ridiculously tender moment
Yeah.
that, made me have all the
In this
worst man
R-rated
feels.
movie.
My
Yeah.
fucking heart melted and it ran all over my shirt.
No, that was your Coke.
Yeah. I know, but that I thought it was really touching way of seeing Professor X. I mean, you got to see him like, and same about this whole family thing. Like he really pushed to want to have this like one night of, I guess,
Yeah.
normal in this crazy, I guess, run around life that they're living at the moment. The way that he saved those families' horses from those crazy fucking trucks.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
Automated trucks, that's going to save people's lives. Jesus fucking Christ.
Pretty sure it ran those motherfuckers off the road.
Yep.
Like, they got a delivery to make, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Beep, beep.
Beep, motherfucker. No one's lives are worth more than this package of cigarettes or whatever it is.
Canned corn that we're carrying.
Canned corn.
Yeah, but I thought, we got to see those really tender moments of him when he's actually laying in bed and says to Logan, this is nice.
Yeah.
This is what it feels like.
But do you know what made my heart break even more was when he was he thought it was Logan coming back in later. It was X-24, turns out.
Yeah.
But he was like telling him that, he was happy with how things had been, but he realized now that he was ill, I guess.
Well, it's more that like he for the first time in a long time he realized, or he thought like he had felt happy, but he didn't feel like he deserved it.
Yes, that's what it.
Yeah, because he kind of remembered what happened previously, and they never really like go into much detail about like the Westchester incident. I think they called it.
We'll get into the Easter eggs.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that a little bit more, but obviously it's this big tragic event in his past, and it obviously, it's one of those things where it's a juxtaposition, I guess, in insofar as how he has this feeling of family and happiness and all that sort of stuff, but it's like, holy shit, I don't actually deserve to have any of this.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad.
And then he dies.
And then he dies.
Straight away.
That whole moment where we got X-24 there,
Yeah.
which is Wolverine's clone as an adult.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, he's pieced together like a Frankenstein, basically.
Looks good for a Frankenstein.
Well, damn, he looked fit.
Ew, didn't he?
He did look really
Can I just say,
anyway.
before we get into it, like it was like I had no notion that is where they were going to go.
Oh,
with
No,
this.
absolutely, yeah.
no way.
They kept that on the wraps.
Well and truly.
But I thought that whole moment when he was dying, because Logan, X-24, looked like so much younger.
Yeah.
I thought it was a dream. And they might have been referencing to that whole incident where in the comics, Logan goes around and kills fucking everyone.
Yeah.
Not Professor X.
Yeah.
And I thought that's what that was referencing. And I was like, oh my God, are they going to do that?
Yeah. And then no.
No. They
Not
killed.
at all.
And you know what? I was really disappointed with how quick they kind of like just wrapped up Professor X's storyline.
Yeah, I
It's
guess so.
almost like they carry him out to the truck and just throw him in the tray, and then he's gone.
And then X-23 loses her mind when she sees him back there. And then that's the last we see of him until he's in the ground.
Yeah, but there's not really too much else they could
No.
have done with it. Like, you can't prop him up in the front seat like Weekend at Bernie's sort of
Oh,
thing,
no,
like
no,
having him continue within the thing,
but
like
he
after
didn't
he
even,
died.
he
But
didn't get he didn't get a farewell.
look, I agree. I would agree in the sense that it was a very unceremonious ending.
It was abrupt.
for a character that is so beloved and all that sort of stuff, and probably deserved a little bit more. And to have this kind of, and I know he wasn't quite dead, and he had a very, very brief moment with Logan later when he's like, I think Logan was telling me it wasn't me.
Yeah.
And then he gets kind of faded off.
Yeah. So, but what that does give us is it gives us one of the coolest fight scenes within this movie, where it's kind of this is where he sees X-24 dragging off Laura,
Yes.
X-23, and what we have to reference before that, I guess, is the fact that he had a choice to make.
Yeah.
He either had to go to Charles or go to Laura. He had a choice and he chose Charles. Once he realized that Charles was dead, then it was over. It was on.
The SmackDown was on.
And that was one of the more beastly fight scenes you'll see in your life.
Oh, yeah.
Savage.
Very savage.
It was.
What did you think of X-24 fighting him? Like, in the sense that X-24, he's like young. He's like almost just pure berserker.
Yeah.
I thought it was fantastic that Logan, old, battered, shitty, was, in my opinion, he was winning this fight.
He was fueled by something, though.
Like,
Well, he was.
he was winning this fight, and it seemed like it was quite easily winning it. And not in the sense that, he's obviously versing a much more powerful physical opponent, But Logan, he's got this like almost battle sense warrior to him.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's kind of the difference. Because while you can clone, the DNA and you can make the healing factor and the look the same and the adamantium skeleton and all that sort of stuff, you can't clone years of battle hardened skill.
Yeah.
No,
and
that's right.
and you can't clone that blind rage of having the only person on earth that you care about just be murdered basically in front of your eyes, and then not kind of kick some ass.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Do you want to talk about? I've got a couple of things about some plot holes.
Yeah, look. Well, let's while we're talking about characters, then let's talk about X-23 for a second. Then we'll come back and we'll talk about some things that
Sounds good.
might have been done a bit better.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. We'll save that for last. X-23. Holy shit! What a savage little girl.
Holy shit!
She was the character was amazing. The actress to
Yep.
be that young and to do such an amazing job of this character, I was in awe of her.
You know what?
I was done.
You know what? I was most impressed with?
What?
Was her body doubles in these scenes didn't look like grown-ups doing it.
No.
It actually looked like
Children.
she was doing it.
No, she was doing it, man. It was
Yeah,
her
maybe.
for sure.
Yeah.
for sure.
And how great was it that she had the foot claw?
Oh,
Totally-
that was amazing.
I was a little bit disappointed it wasn't like utilized more. Like I think she might have used it maybe 3 times, but
Oh, there was a fight scene with her and X-24 at the end of the movie,
Yeah.
where she is just kicking him in the
Yes.
fucking back non-stop with her claw.
And just, like,
It was-
screeching.
Yeah, it was amazing. The character, man, that is an instant classic character.
Yeah.
That is how you bring a character into, a TV show. Like say how they did with Eleven in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Like,
exactly what
yeah,
it was
this
like.
young character that everyone's just like, fuck yeah, 11. And now 11's kind of going, oh, fuck, now X-23's here.
Yeah.
And
I better
everyone's-
step up my game.
Everyone's going to forget about me because she was instant fucking classic, man.
Oh, amazing.
You say, give her all the plaudits, give her her own movie, do whatever you want with her.
Yep.
I don't care. We just need to see more of her.
And I really like the way they built her backstory in the sense like they've been breeding these people as warriors, these children as warriors.
Yeah. We'll get into that pretty shortly because, I take some issue with it,
Yeah.
I guess. But I think with her, like, it was very much she played the whole kind of emotionless thing
Yes.
quite well.
Yep.
And she didn't know any better. So, when she goes into the convenience store and things like that.
Just takes the shit.
yeah,
that
she's-
scene was hilarious.
Yeah, and she's willing to like kill that dude basically because
He won't give her her sunglasses or whatever.
Oh, you know how we're in the cinemas and I was like, oh, who's her mum?
yeah.
I finally figured it out.
Okay.
She's from Orange is the New Black.
Oh well, there you go.
It was killing me that whole movie. And I got home and I finally realized.
Thanks for taking the time now
Yep,
to bring
to
that
tell
up.
us.
You want to know why I'm mentioning it? Because I know people who are listening to this will be like, oh, that's where I fucking seen
Oh,
her.
that's fair. That is a fair point.
Yes.
let's talk
I've
about-
now put it together. Okay.
I haven't
keep
even seen that show.
I know.
Never seen it before in my life. I know that's probably criminal.
yourself a
but-
favour.
Yeah.
Do it.
It's about
That's what I've
criminals.
heard. Daphne Keane, though, the actress that
Oh
played
my
Laura,
God.
yeah, hasn't been in fucking really anything
Yeah.
before. This is her breakout role. She'll be a star.
She didn't even speak until, I'm going to say 3/4 of the way.
Yeah, what a
through the
presence.
movie.
What a presence to only say like a handful of
And
lines.
half of it is not in English.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I can't get over it. I
Yeah.
can't even talk anymore.
She's so sassy.
And I think, well, yeah, she is. And I think the turnaround for her character, like at the end as well, when we get to this point where Logan and she realizes and he realizes that he's done.
Yeah.
He's going to die. That's when you really see, how much she has grown to care for him
Yes.
over this time that you mightn't have necessarily gotten too much of before. It all came out then. And, like that ending, if we're going to just jump to
Yeah,
the ending,
yeah.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The ending, his death scene and the funeral scene and all that sort of stuff, that was really well done,
Oh, yeah.
considering it was a bunch of children around a grave.
Actually, no, because they didn't bury that body. They just put rocks on top of it.
Yeah,
I mean, okay.
but that's how you bury bodies in the bush. You just put rocks on them. It's so
Okay.
much easier.
Do you know what I really liked about it was how it was a cross and then she made it an X.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I hated that.
I liked it.
That just brought the tack factor up, and I fucking hated that.
I thought it
Really?
was cute.
Yeah.
I was fine with it, man. Like he was an X-Man.
Yeah.
And they
Oh, I
reference
know,
that.
but they don't need to do that.
But
No,
they didn't say anything
They
about
do
it.
because, she, like when you look at her as a character, she is carrying around
comic.
X-Men comic books.
Oh, look, there was a kid
There
there
was a
who had a
kid-
fucking Wolverine action
Exactly.
figure.
Like, that's-
like we get it. He's an X-Man. Don't do that shit near the end.
I like
Guess
it.
what? Guess what? He isn't anymore.
Alive.
An
Yeah,
X-Man because he's
alive.
dead. So it's like
Is X like crossed eyes?
yeah, it's a fitting
Maybe.
in my mind and Amy's. So
Yes.
2 out of 3. It's a fitting tribute. Let us know what you think. Was it shit?
Was it tacky?
Was it tacky or was it well done?
Yeah.
I say well done. So
Me
fuck
too.
you, Kate.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the story then. Let's talk about some of the things that could have been done a little bit better.
Yeah, I want to say the adamantium bullet. I felt like that. As soon as I saw he had a clone, I knew how it was going to end.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Like, it was just. I felt like that was just such a telegraphed plot device that it kind of made it a little bit shit. The whole point that he was like Logan wasn't trying to kill everyone was a bit silly. Like at the start, we see him like kill a whole bunch of gangbangers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like he didn't even think about it. He's like cutting arms off, cutting heads open.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't going to.
He wasn't going to, but he did.
Yes,
he
because
had every
was-
option.
because they shot him with a
Twice.
shotgun.
He still,
So-
he
so
still didn't have to kill him. He could have just fucking maimed him or something
I
like
think
that.
for some part he did, but like we're talking about a guy that literally he's like, don't touch my car. I'm giving you a chance to walk away.
Yeah.
Please walk away. Bam, shotgun. You're dead. You're gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he still didn't kill them initially. It wasn't until they tried to absolutely kick the shit out of him
He was
that
like-
he then turned berserker and killed them all. So I don't know how far you need to be pushed, Cade, to be able to actually start killing people.
Well, here, when you hear me out, you'll understand
Okay.
why I have
Okay.
the gripe on it. So when Donald Pierce comes, he is easily in reach of just fucking stabbing him.
yeah.
Why doesn't he?
Because then we'd have no story.
Exactly, and that's it. There's inconsistency in the character to push a plot.
I disagree.
Yeah, no. I think.
I completely disagree. I would say that this is a situation where this is a guy that is tired of killing. He has had a lifetime of killing.
But he's running from this.
Yes,
And-
exactly. He's running from it. He doesn't want to be a part of the violence anymore.
Well, we even saw that when one of his claws was not coming out properly because I'm assuming from lack of use, I
Yeah.
guess. So
Like-
he didn't want to.
Exactly. This is a guy that has well and truly removed himself from the violent world of the past.
But then you
he's not
say
just
that-
going to stab people in the face for no reason.
Until the ending comes, and then he is stabbing
But he's got
everyone.
nothing left.
But what's the ending? The ending are a bunch of Reavers who are trying to kill these children.
I know, but
What
he
better cause is there?
He's also hyped up on Mountain Dew. Or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
So
He was so fucking high on Mountain Dew. That's steroids, man. That's
Yeah.
just roid rage.
yeah.
I will take. I will call bullshit
No.
on that.
nah.
Unfortunately,
Amy.
I'm going to go with Troy.
Oh,
suck a dick.
Doesn't mean I'm wrong.
No,
means
like
you
we
aren't.
said earlier, everyone has their own opinion.
Look, that's fine. I just think it's very similar to Batman, but the reverse of Batman.
Yeah.
So where Batman didn't kill, and then he just got fed up with his ways of not working and living this life of people around him dying and this, that, and the other. That he's just kind of like, what the fuck else am I going to do but kill people? It's kind of the reverse of that. Wolverine's done all this killing, does not want to be a part of that world anymore.
I don't know, mate. Go back and rewatch it
I don't need to.
with the mindset that I've put in.
I genuinely don't need to. But let's talk about a couple of other things. So one of the things that I kind of got a little bit annoyed at, I guess, is, and we have discussed this previously, but this is when we're talking about these kids that have been bred to be like warriors. Basically, they are raised, they're created as clones, they're made to be killing machines, yet within a very small space of time, they just revert back to being children. They're scared, they're frightened. Laura is the only one that is kind of still following that kind of berserker, like killer mentality.
Yeah.
Whereas the rest of them are all very much reserved to just being normal children.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, they've never been raised as normal children. Like, they don't know how to be, like, I guess, scared. They're made to be tough. They're made to be brave in these situations and take control.
Yeah.
It's so out of character that she can be, brave and strong the entire movie.
Yeah.
But these kids suddenly become, like, just normal kids who are scared of getting shot.
And they just stand there.
Yeah, and I know they've had a little bit of love from the people that saved them from like the whole thing anyway. But that it couldn't be enough, surely. It could
To undo that training.
yeah,
Years
to
and
undo
years.
years of basically abuse. So yeah, I took a little bit of I don't know. I was a little bit shitty at that.
Yeah.
Because then when you're looking at them and they're basically fleeing for Canada,
Yeah.
they will not fight until they are cornered. That is the only time they actually turn and fight, when there is no choice whatsoever. And it's disappointing because these are some pretty like powerful kids. And even Laura, like even X-23 herself,
Is
runs,
running.
whereas she has previously been surrounded by
Yep.
groups of them and has wanted to fight.
The first scene
So-
we see her fight, she
Yeah.
just demolishes everyone.
Yeah.
She rolls her head out.
Yeah.
Yep. So she walks out, one of the coolest fucking
Oh,
scenes
yeah,
by
that
the
was
way.
amazing.
Amazing.
But she walks out in the middle of like a massive group of Reavers and stares them down, pops her claws,
Yep.
and then just fucks shit up.
Yep.
And then like towards the end of the movie, she's running scared like the rest of these children, which is very out of character for all of them.
And then when they do decide to use their powers, they focus on one guy.
Well, I think by that point they've kind of dispatched everybody
Yeah.
else.
Except for X-24,
Well,
who's kicking the shit out
and
of Logan.
That's the other thing that I kind of also take. Like, Donald Pierce, yes, he's a cyborg. He's only really got a cyborg arm, I think.
Yeah.
They don't really show too much more if he has it. They really could have all been concentrating their efforts on X-24.
Exactly.
Well, they could have had the little kid who uses electricity and just shocked him to
Put him
death.
to sleep.
Well, like it took I can't remember the kid's name, but it took the kid who lifted the tank,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to throw the tank on him. And even that didn't kill him. But you've got a whole bunch of people and it just didn't work. And it took, Laura with the adamantium bullet, this thing that we knew was coming from a mile away to actually do that.
Now, I want to just say something here. I'm pretty sure in the first Wolverine movie, or whenever we see Wolverine actually, become himself,
Yeah.
doesn't he get shot with an adamantium bullet?
Yeah, Stryker shoots him.
It doesn't matter because that movie was X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah, and we disregard anything that happened in that movie.
Well, true,
And
but
that
I
movie
just want to
does-
say, surely,
He got shot twice.
Yeah.
and all it does is make you lose your memory from,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. You've got to call them. Well, okay, but like this could open up a
Oh, yeah,
whole
we could talk
other
for
thing, and we're not
ages.
gonna
Yeah.
go on about the continuity of the X universe. Like that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother show. But you've got to work within like the continuity that they're trying to set,
of
which is
course.
very
Yeah.
murky, and some of these things don't really work in with the others. So
plus the X-24 should regrow from that.
well, if that is the case, but in this particular movie,
Yeah.
like Logan is convinced that this adamantium bullet, he's not saving it for anyone else. He's saving it for himself.
Yep.
It's the idea is to get this boat to go with just him and Charles, wait for Charles to die, and then kill himself. He's had too long a life to really want to continue on with it anymore. So it's for him. So within this movie, it works. Within the continuity as a whole, it does not.
Oh, yeah, I know completely. In the continuity, it doesn't. But it's just like a couple of things that are like just common law to this character.
Yeah. Well, that's true too.
Oh well. Shall we get into?
Yeah, I think we should probably move into what have we got? Favorite moments. Pick a favorite moment.
X-23, that first scene where she comes in and just destroys everyone.
Damn it, that was going to be mine.
Well, we can still have the same favorite scenes.
Okay. Well, that
You're
was-
allowed to have samesies.
Yeah. Okay. Well, samesies then. That was my favourite.
My favorite, I guess, for me, other than like the little character moments between Charles and Logan, especially when they're around the like the dinner table and all that sort of stuff, and it's the first time you see Logan smile and kind of have like look like he's having some fun, and he kind of lets his guard down a little bit. Other than the little character scenes, if we're talking about like the action, agree with you on your scene. I fucking love that thing. But I also think the scene, the first fight scene with X-24,
Yeah, that was
as well.
Oh, yeah, that was
fantastic.
amazing.
Because that was pretty brutal. Loved it.
Big question. Rate it or hate it?
Oh, mate. Before we do that, do you want to talk about some Easter eggs quickly?
I want to talk about it really quickly afterwards.
Okay. Well, then rate it 100%.
Oh, yeah. If you are a person who does not rate this movie, I don't even know what to say to you. So you better rate it, Cade.
Oh, I do. I do rate it.
Cade's one of those people that he
could
could really
say.
go either way. And sometimes you don't know if he's doing it just to stir the pot
Yeah.
or if he's like, actually serious. But this is one that you can't, honestly.
This movie was really far from perfect for me. And I'm standing strong by my opinion that the plot was very thin for how Logan worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And, like,
fine.
and
I mean,
it-
it's wrong, but it's fine.
It's
Yeah.
not. What's your Easter eggs, mate?
Oh, look, there's a couple. I think like one of the biggest ones that stands out is the Greenwood Cemetery that that Logan visits at the start.
Yep.
Now that is it's not necessarily where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be in New York City. They have it obviously here in Texas because that's where Logan seems to be based.
Yep.
But that is like there are a couple of things. Like that's where Sue Storm is buried. That's where the shrine for Captain America is within the cemetery. I think there's a couple of other major characters that are buried in that cemetery. It comes up all the time. So that's one of the big ones. One of the other big ones is the Westchester incident.
Yes.
Now this is in the comic books that this is pretty loosely based on, like in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
I thought they would go a bit closer. They definitely took some liberties with it, and that's 100% fine. I do not mind whatsoever. This is a situation where in the comics it is Logan himself that basically goes on a rampage and murders all the X-Men. And the reason he does that is because somebody is cloaking them,
Yes.
and he believes that they are actually bad guys.
What's it? Mr. Sinister?
No, I can't remember.
Anyway.
Anyway, it was one of them.
Yeah.
So that's what happens there, and this is obviously a situation where they've flipped it, and Charles has lost control of his abilities, and several of the X-Men, who you would assume would be major members, but several of the X-Men have died because of this, and it's something that he can't get past.
The only thing that I didn't like was that we didn't see any of that. Like, I don't know how they would do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But a flashback would have been nice. There were so many good places they could have had one.
You're going to
Like,
trigger me with the word flashback.
I know you don't like flashbacks, but I think it was needed. Like, Logan even wakes up and said, "Oh, just a nightmare."
Yeah.
Like, how good would it have been to see something?
It would have been good to see it,
I
but I
don't know
don't think
how.
it necessarily would fit within the narrative.
Yeah.
No, that's right. I just would have liked to
Yeah,
see
that's
it.
what I was going to say. Like, it would have been amazing, but
Oh,
would have
yeah.
it worked?
Yeah, maybe not. It probably would have taken too much of the focus away from
Yeah,
like
that's
what
true.
was happening
I just
at
wanted to
any
see it.
particular time. What do you got?
I was going to say to the listeners, if you've seen it, let us know what you think.
Yeah. Look, if we were like going on a actual rating scale, this would be fucking high for me.
Oh, yeah.
One of the best movies I've seen in some time. I think it's a very fitting way for the characters to end their tenure as these two fan favorite characters. I loved it.
What's the chances that we're going to see them in Deadpool as a small cameo?
None.
Nah.
That's going to take us to Comic of the Week. This week brought to you by...
Troy.
Yep. Yeah. See, that's what happens when you guys try to like, what's that word? See,
Improvise?
improvise. Shit just gets weird.
You know, I was going to say it's by Helga's Rye Bread again.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Like,
should have
get
told
some
me.
new jokes.
We've
you
had too
guys.
much coffee and too much energy drink.
Get some new damn jokes. Comic of the Week this week is, of course, Logan. Why else would it be anything else other than a Wolverine-related comic? This is the collected edition, which collects issues 1 to 3 and is written by Brian K. Vaughan with art by Eduardo Risso. And this basically tells the story of Logan returning to Japan to face a demon from his past. And it's told a lot through backstory, kind of set against the backdrop of the detonation of the atomic bomb in Hiroshima. So there are only actually, like in this whole comic series, and there, like I said, there are 3 comics. There's actually only 3 characters in the entire thing. There's Logan, Lieutenant Warren, and a lady called Atsuko, who Logan falls in love with. Now, that is testament to the quality of the writing, that you can be intrigued for 3 different issues when there's only 3 characters.
Yeah, that's damn good.
To basically work around. And it's a story that shows Wolverine at his most vulnerable, showing him being with a woman that he feels is way too good for him, somebody that he never thought he could possibly be with.
So he's punching.
Punching well above his weight in this case. Yet it's also at his most kind of indestructible, because he literally survives the atomic explosion of Hiroshima, because the bomb detonates literally over the top of where he is. And he also gets his heart ripped out of his chest. And not metaphorically with love, as is kind of referenced, but literally ripped out of his chest by Lieutenant Warren, who also happens to be an indestructible mutant. So it's pretty cool, because they come back in the future and Logan goes back to face his demons, which is this undead Lieutenant Warren. So it's pretty good. Brian K. Vaughan's writing is violently poetic at times. This is literally how the comic opens. When you rip a guy's heart out, the blood inside stinks of hot iron and dead blossoms. After all these years, that's still what Japan smells like to me.
We've all been there.
I've been to Japan. It doesn't smell like hot blood and dead blossoms or whatever it is, but it's,
Smelly?
it's Wolverine.
No?
Yeah, what else is it going to be? And you can definitely see that the movies have borrowed from this as well, especially the Wolverine. So the second movie.
Yep.
Which wasn't that bad.
No, it was good,
didn't
and
mind
it was directed by the same guy. So
the first one?
No, as Logan.
Oh, okay.
So James Mangold directed the Wolverine as well. So he's upped his game.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit! Like, the Wolverine was a massive step up from X-Men Origins Wolverine, but anything could have been. And that was Logan was a massive step up from that. This is available on Comixology and the like for only $4.99, and you get the whole collected edition. And it's a single story cade, so you can read the whole thing from start to finish.
I'm already interested in it, mate. When you said three editions, I'm like, that's my type of comic.
It's literally 61 pages of comics.
That's my type of comic.
But it's brilliant. I highly recommend going out and buying it.
That's good. That's good you've told me that, because after you guys leave, after we finish this, I'm going on the Comixology and I'm buying the first edition of The Flash Rebirth.
Yeah.
And getting I think it's 12 comics. So I'm getting that, and now I'm going to get this.
Good.
Yeah. We're in no way affiliated with Comixology, by the way, but it is if you don't have the option to get to your comic store, I would highly recommend every single time, if you can get to a comic store and they have these issues, do
Buy
that.
them.
No, because I want someone to hold my hand and read through the panels. I like the assisted reading that Comixology does with me.
Yeah, but and I think a lot of people still like the feel,
of
the
a
smell
real book.
of comics, and you're supporting a local business as well. So don't be a asshole. Okay,
Mate, get with the times. Stop.
but
stop
digitally.
killing
Hey,
trees.
look, I got this digitally, man. I got this.
I got this.
Let's move on. That is going to do it for another episode, but stay tuned next week when we review new Marvel movie, Kong Skull Island.
Oh, damn.
Oh, damn. It's basically got everybody from Marvel in it.
Yeah.
Can it fail? Who knows?
Maybe.
Mixed review so far, but it does have a epic after credit scene.
Oh, damn.
So stay back.
Stay tuned and all that. Let's thank some people. We got the listeners, the subscribers, and the reviewers. Thanks to everybody who's been reviewing the show lately.
We've been getting heaps of reviews
we have
lately.
been moving. So that's good. Keep it up. What's in it for you? More of this, damn it.
Yeah.
And if you don't want that,
Scintillating conversation.
yeah. What else is there?
Well, I don't know.
Who knows?
There's Facebook.
Let us know what else you want.
There's Facebook. That's Comic Confidential Podcast. We've got the Comic Confidential listener community on Facebook
Yes.
as well. Jump on and join that. There's Instagram, Twitter. That's Comic Con Pod. YouTube is the same thing. Or search Comic Confidential or something.
It will pop up.
Yeah,
it's
one of
in
those
there.
things. There's a Snapchat. There is a website. There is a Patreon.
What's the website? You got to tell them.
Yeah,
don't you?
everything is Comic Con Pod.
Except for the Patreon.
Yeah, it's patreon.com/Comic Con Pod.
Yeah, but they got to know that, mate. Hey, guess what? We also have a Redbubble.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
I'm going
have
to
a
make some
Redbubble.
new shirts up.
Good.
People are requesting more shirts.
Yeah.
Good.
So I've got to invent some time and make
Get
some bloody
creative,
shirts.
mate.
Yeah, make some new shirts, man. I think you should make. I feel like there's been some calls for some hashtag t-shirts.
Yeah, there is.
I also want a pair of Comic-Con tights.
All right. So
Hashtag t-shirts.
Hashtag t-shirts, tights. I know people are screaming for you heard it here first tee.
Oh, yeah.
We also need a weekly rap inspired tee as well. Why not? Let's get that out there.
Can I put it like the weekly wrap and just put it like it's a glad wrap, but I've photoshopped the weekly wrap on there?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want, man.
Yeah, okay.
Wrap
do that.
around a burger. That'd be
You're
good.
the designer here. Let's just take a quick second to shout out new Patreon, Warren Leo.
Oh, what a legend.
You are a legend, my friend.
You get early access, mate.
You do.
You've got the secret key. You're in, mate.
You are in.
All you had to do was believe.
Yep. Faith, trust, and pixie dust.
Oh.
Do you know what that's from?
No,
No, is
I
that a
thought you
thing?
made that
Oh,
up.
man.
No,
You've
come
ruined
on,
it.
you
No, you've ruined
guys. That's Peter Pan.
No, yeah. It's
I ain't
done.
into that.
Far
Don't forget
out.
our other show, as we briefly just spoke about, the weekly wrap. It is out there. It's available on Sundays as well. Just search the weekly wrap. Or sometimes we're in the charts. Wink. Look at that.
He actually did a wink.
That's it.
That's it.
We're done.
That
Done for another bloody week.
That
Yay.
is it. We'll be back next week, as we always are. Thanks for listening. As always, I am Troy.
I'm Kay.
And I'm Amy.
And this has been Comic Confidential.
Cheers.
Bye.
Peace.
Of paper.
Hey, you know, talking about Peter Pan.
Yeah.
They invented the name Wendy. For
Who
that.
did?
What?
Yeah. Like the
I
name
did
didn't-
not know
yeah,
that.
the name didn't
That's
exist.
not true.
No, it's true.
Disney trivia. I love that shit.
Where did you read that? Wikipedia. And some lady
It's
named
me.
Amy was on the friggin' like. Jesus.
It's more like Dickopedia, you dickhead.
Is that real though? Is that
Yeah,
for
it's
real?
100% real.
Wikipedia.
Okay.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
real.
Yeah. Nothing but descriptions of dicks.
No, what it is, Dickopedia, is you can only type with your dick.
Damn it.
Oh, what if
Yeah.
you're a female?
Well,
Blasphemy, I tell you.
Lady dick.
yeah, no, there's no entry.
The She-Man Woman Haters Club or whatever it is.
What?
Oh my God. The Little Rascals?
What is that from?
Did you?
Oh, you guys.
There was not a joke in the Little Rascals that was the She-Man
Yeah,
Woman
you said
Haters
She-Man.
Club.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That is so... I don't even know. All my sensibilities, man.
I
All
need
my
to drink-
sensibilities
I need to drink a
have
lot of
been
water to flush this coffee out
insulted.
of my system.
Oh, bye.
See ya.
Are you still here?